The Dwight Williams Show presents Meet the Characters. This episode, let's meet Dwight's strange uncle from California, Uncle Bernard.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for letting me come into your home. My name is Bernard T. Williams. Now, the T doesn't stand for anything. You understand that that was the custom back then. Just give him a letter. Well, like Dwight's daddy, J.B. That's his name, J.B. That's just how it was, okay? I was born in 1928, a little town called Shiloh Crossing, Oklahoma. Don't go looking for it on any map. It doesn't exist on any map. About 1961, I took the wife up there to try and find some family maybe and show her where the old home place was, and hell, it's at the bottom of an Army Corps engineer's lakes, you know, so that wasn't any good. I wasn't about to rent a boat and go point at the water where it was. Well, anyway, that's where I was born, Shiloh Crossing, Oklahoma. Now, my parents were sharecroppers. They raised some cotton and corn, occasionally some wheat, some cattle, a couple of goats. One of the earliest memories I ever had in life was sitting under a shade tree and watching my folks pick cotton, the whole family out there bringing in the cotton crop. Well, this was just at the beginning of the Depression, and my daddy lost his farm, had to move out, and this really hurt my father. He was such a proud man. You know, he's a lot like Dwight. I see so much of my father in Dwight, my nephew Dwight, who you've met before. Big, strapping bear of a man with huge hands and gnarled fingers from working. He could fix anything and do anything, and he lived life hell-bent for leather, just like Dwight. And he was just as likely to invite you in for Sunday afternoon dinner as he would slap you upside the head and send you in the next Tuesday, you know what I mean? Well, but anyway, Daddy heard through a cousin that there's lots of apple picking and orange picking going on out in California. So we became what was become called Okies. Those are people who moved from Oklahoma out to California to work, the migrant workers up and down the coast of California, working in the farms and the vineyards. So Daddy had this 1921 Dodge truck, right? Flatbed truck. He loaded everything onto it. I can remember riding on top of that load, riding way up top there with my brother Philip, but hanging on to me. Philip was the oldest one. He died about 1981. He had one son who was an alcoholic. But anyway, I remember riding up there with Philip, you know, as we went out west to California. The movie The Grapes of Wrath, you've seen the movie The Grapes of Wrath? Well, those people had A1 accommodations. It wasn't anywhere near that nice. Well, then the war broke out, and my brother J.B., remember that's Dwight's daddy, he immediately enlisted into the Army, joined the Airborne, and he took part in the D-Day invasion 3 years later. And my brother Philip joined the Navy, never went overseas. He served as a cook down at San Diego. But anyway, I couldn't join. I was too young when the war broke out, right? So my daddy, being such a talented man with his hands, well, except for that one incident where he lost his little finger that I told you about a few minutes ago, he got a job at the defense plant at Long Beach, a big defense plant down there at Long Beach. And I went to school, and when I got off, I'd go work at the grocery store, anything to help the family out. But when I turned 16, Daddy figured that he could lie about my age and get me on there at the plant. A few positions became available, and so he did, and I left school, and I went to work there at the defense plant and learned how to be a machinist, a job I held for 45 years. Well, working as a machinist at the defense plant, I was just saving money left and right. And I tell you, the first new car I ever bought, I will never forget this thing. It was a 1953 Pontiac, fire engine red convertible. Oh, it was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life. And I would just cruise down Hollywood Boulevard with the top down on that convertible, and I bet all the girls thought I was a movie star in such a fine automobile. But the only thing I ever saw prettier than that car was Martha. The first night I saw her, I knew, hey, I've got to marry that girl. Well, you know the scene I'm talking about. You know, Jimmy Stewart, he's playing George Bailey. Him and Uncle Billy are standing out in front of the Bailey household, you know. Harry Bailey has just come home, and he's just gotten married, and everybody's drunk and having a good time, right? And so Uncle Billy is drunk, and he's walking home. and he walks off set singing, "My Wild Irish Rose." And all of a sudden you hear this horrible commotion, things falling all over the place and crashing. It's this big uproar. And Uncle Billy yells out, "I'm all right." Well, you know what happened there is Uncle Billy, the actor playing Uncle Billy, walked off the set and he hit a guy carrying film canisters. This guy had just come walking through with film canisters. Uncle Billy ran into him and they just fell everywhere. And he improvised and they left it in the scene. It was so funny. The guy carrying the film canisters, you know, who dropped them and made all the noise, that guy, I lived next door to his sister for 25 years. So I cried, "No, for God's sakes, Harvey, put down that gun." Well, it all comes down to this. This is something I always told the new hires over at the plant. I always trained the new guys, and I told every one of them this, and it's a good rule to live by as you go through life. And that is, be careful where you put your fingers. All right, well, I sure have enjoyed visiting with you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.